And we're back. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Today's Weather Tonight. Here, as always, I am your meteorologist, that's comedian/meteorologist, Cloud Hudson, and I will be bringing you all of tonight's top weather stories. Not the bottom weather stories, not even the middle weather stories, the top weather stories, the best weather stories. What's the story the weather's telling today? Well, first thing on everyone's mind is the bomb cyclone that is tearing into the Pacific Northwest. Let's go ahead and start by looking at our headlines so that we can get to the meteorology update. Okay, well, that's one of the headlines I'm going over. Bomb cyclone, meaning impact, everything you need to know. The West Coast is set to witness a bomb cyclone as it is developing to welcome strong weather conditions to the region. With the cyclone, a long-duration atmospheric river is set to occur, which will also bring feet of snow, flooding rain, and high winds by this week's end. However, many are wondering, what is a bomb cyclone? It really, as we talked about yesterday, I talked about this, it really refers to a meteorological term, bombogenesis. Tremendous strength, which drops by at least 24 millibars in pressure over 24 hours. I didn't remember that was the definition of bombogenesis. I would have gotten that trivia point wrong. Produces heavy rain and snow. This is basically going to be a hurricane. It's going to be like a hurricane. Technically not a hurricane because of some technical things where the storm originated, the way in which it originated, and when it originated is part of why it never technically counts as it. Hurricane. It's in the Pacific, but we have Pacific hurricanes, but it's also not exactly the same structure. Actually, are we going to go over the structure? Let's just go over the structure now. I want to jump right into this. Tropical tidbits. Let's go to, and we are also looking at, oh no, that's old. That's like almost a week old. Tropical. Let's go to forecast models and look at which area. Can I look at a different region? I want to look at, can I look at just the Pacific Northwest? I guess not. Oh yeah, here we go. It's right under me. There it is. There she blows. Let's look at a sounding model just right now. This is going to be so this is what it looks like all the way up. This right here is a hodograph. This shows wind in knots, height in kilometers. We start down here at 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all the way up. This shows the wind shear vector between the layers. So which direction the wind is curving towards as it changes with height. So it's not the actual direction of the wind, but the way in which the wind is changing between those two layers. So the more twisty-turny it is, the crazier it is. I don't have time to explain a hodograph right now because I barely grasp the concept myself. I just can look at it and see this looks gnarly. I'm still studying this tool. This here is a skew-T log P diagram. Well, it's not as much a diagram as this is actually model sounding viewer. This is what the model thinks a sounding taken at this point in the storm would look like. And I clicked right in the middle of the storm. We can see that the red line is actual temperature. As you raise up in the atmosphere, The green line is the dew point at that point in the atmosphere. So what 100% saturation, what temperature 100% saturation of the air would occur at. So basically where there's a cloud. When you see temperature and dew point real close to each other, that means there's a fuck ton of moisture in that area, or it is an actual cloud. And the mixed layer parcel path is in purple dashes right here. You follow the mixing ratio up. Dry adiabats and pseudo adiabats are 2 of the 5 axes we have, and the saturation mixing ratio is another one. I also don't have time to go over that. But basically, the closer these lines are, the more cloudy that area is. So this shows kind of between the 1,000 millibar height and about 850 millibar height, we've got a real tight, actually up to 700 millibar height, we've got real tight temperature and dew point. That means it's probably like solidly cloudy there. Then we get a little bit of a reprieve through 700 to 500 layer, at which point the dew point goes back down, and we approach another almost cloud type layer. You can find all kinds of layers from this. You can find the lowest condensation layer. You can find a lot of, this is boring. Let's talk about bombs. Let's talk about bombogenesis. Let's go to, click through. I'm looking at GFS because it usually handles this pretty well. Has it kind of spinning off the coast, and then a second low coming in here and really making the grand slam. So into Friday, we're looking at this actually coming on shore. Now, I'm just going to push play so we can look through this. This is what it's going to just stall out here offshore and just continue spitting moisture onto Northern California. From the Bay Area north, basically. And then the original low is going to sweep back down and finish the job. So we're about to start over. Okay, here's where we are now. This is a really intense cyclone, sucking up a new cyclone into it, spitting all this moisture at California. Let's go see if we have a larger view of this. Yeah. You can see this right here, this line going into this line of wind. I'm saying a line of wind because you can estimate wind as being roughly parallel to the contours that are indicated there. So that's where I'm finding wind from. Blows a lot of moisture onshore. And why is this such a weird aspect ratio? Where is this. I want to look at, let's look at the 850 layer. Go all the way back. And 850 layer is missing a bunch of chunks in the mountains because mountain pressure starts a lot lower. So like the 850 layer would be underground or intersecting the ground in all these places where it's white. So that's why it's missing data there. You can see the line between rain and snow there is just dancing in these areas, higher elevations staying in probably solidly snow territory. But that back and forth of snow and rain is something that is a recipe for nasty weather. I'm not going to say disaster, but recipe for disaster. I don't like the looks of it. I don't know if it's going to be a real icy storm, but it is going to be nasty. It seems like there's a lot of moisture here. There's an atmospheric river from the Hawaii region funneling moisture into the area. and enough rotation to keep the development of the storm really healthy. And when I refer to a healthy storm, I mean actually probably very bad for public health. Let's see. Accumulated precip. What are we looking at? What are we expecting? We're looking at the 5 to 6 inches ranges, and that's just in a 24-hour time period. So a rolling 24 hours, continuing to get new rainfall every day, going to be pretty nasty, and then sweep through the eastern part of the United States. So once they're done terrorizing California, this system moves through the Midwest, becoming a little bit more like a severe storm that we see around this time of year, sloping up the backside of the Appalachian Mountains. Let's look now at temperature advection at the 850 layer. This is where we were talking about there being some good solid clouds forming. It's a little hard to see, but there's cold air advection right up here and warm air advection from down here. So that is a good recipe for nice rotation at that layer. Yeah, you can see it there. That's a lot. Frontogenesis is the factor that's in purple. That is where we're expecting fronts to form. Let me see. Sometimes I like to, that's not the one I want to look at. Yeah. Potential vorticity units is PVU. So just like potential temperature, there's potential vorticity. Don't have time to explain all that to you right now. I'd have to get a refresher to make sure I don't say something dumb on camera. But basically, this can show you where there is a lot of upper layer mixing into this vertical motion. If this swings down, there's like an oscillation of this around the poles. And if this arm swings down, you're probably going to get some good development going on. And by good, I mean bad. Woof. Let me see if we've got total accumulated precip. Looking like we're adding up. Ooh, getting into the 12 to 14 inches range in some upper elevations of California. Yeah, that's not great. I don't like the way that looks. I guarantee it. Let's see. Sorry if you can hear people in the background. It's like this mic is really good and picks up on all kinds of stuff. What was I going to say? I got distracted. 500 millibar height and mean sea level pressure. Geopotential height of 500 millibars. Woof is all I have to say. Let's go for satellite imagery. Let's take a look at is this going to show anything fun? Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Oof. Buddy, look at that. Look at them spirals. That is this textbook. It's textbook. And that's one of my favorite things to say. It's like sports casting. Oh, that's a textbook bombogenesis right there. When it looks like a curling, like, that's what you don't want to see if you want to avoid storms. All of this right here, this tail of the comma, that is the atmospheric river spitting moisture like a fire hose all over the Pacific Northwest. The low being offshore here, it doesn't matter that the low center isn't moving onshore. It just matters that it is throwing a lot of moisture and convection onto land here. As it interacts with the coast region, it kind of spirals off, and most of it is going and getting some nice orographic lift and becoming really heavy or really well-developed clouds as it gets over the mountainous regions of the west here. There's also this convection going on in the Gulf right now that is, I can vouch, is spitting some precipitation all over the south right now, but it's nothing compared to what's going on in Northern California. I do have a viewer in Northern California, so I wonder if she's going to be on here tonight. Hope she's okay. Let's go to something completely different. Let's get through our headlines so we can continue talking about this. Canada finds remains of UFO shot down by U.S. fighter jet. So in February of 2023, the United States shot down a UFO. UFO is not necessarily aliens. It is an unidentified flying object. Turns out this unidentified flying object was from a module from a company who sells weather monitoring equipment. So, yeah, it was just the weatherman all along. No aliens, just autistics with weather salience. I say that as one. Yeah, it's not as exciting as the headline sounds, but it is kind of cool that you can find a UFO and then figure out what it was. Let's go look at our volcanoes now. So looking at 36 actively erupting volcanoes. We've got Manam volcano here. You can kind of see the trail of the smoke erupting there. We've got Ibu volcano, Mount Ibu, and Lewitobi. Manam in Papua New Guinea, explosive activity continues. Mount Ibu continues to explode. Lewitobi and Dukono and Reventador all continue to explode. Let's take a look at the headlines for the 19th, because this is today's weather tonight. Suwanosejima erupted. Mount Ibu continues to explode, like we just said. Samiru exploded. Popo had mild explosive activity from the volcano, intermittent emissions of volcanic ash plumes. Reventador in Ecuador continues to explode, and Sabancaya, Peru had no volcanic activity detected, but that is a change from what we've seen lately. Let's go now to check out our, oh, hold on, I clicked on something wrong. Let's go now to check out our earthquakes. Here on Earthquake 3D. Oh, let me make sure I've got the right date up. There we go. That looks more like it. Okay. So let's just start here in Hawaii. We've got everything up to a 2.3. 2.3 was at 32 kilometers depth, and we had ones and twos there. Up in Alaska, I think I see something that starts with a 3. Yeah, we do have a 3.2 at 40 kilometers depth. We have a 3.0 at 11, and then a smattering of ones. Over here, just off of the Kamchatka Peninsula, we've got 5.1 at 0 kilometers depth. That is a surface quake. That is, kind of an enigma. I've always wondered what's the difference between a surface quake and the land moving, but it's just a quake that is at such a shallow depth that you feel the entirety of it at the surface. But here we have stepping stone paths of surface quakes here. This is interesting. So we got the 5.1 up here. We've got the surface 5.1 off the coast of Japan, actually just on the coast. That would be in which town? Hokkaido region of Japan. Let's see. Then the next surface quake we had, there was one at 248 kilometers depth and one at 0 kilometers depth. That's what I call the barbell effect, because you get one on the surface, one up. When you have depth exaggeration on, you see it all zoomed out like that. And then next to that was a 6.1 on the surface. Now that I'm sure people felt, a 6.1 on the surface rippling out in either direction. So the 6.1 happened at 7:16 a.m. on the 17th. Why am I seeing quakes from the 17th? But actually, it's kind of good that we see quakes from the 17th, because we're seeing a pattern here. We're seeing these ripple outwards. 5.0 at the surface on the 18th out here. 5.1 and a 5.4 here on the surface off Papua New Guinea. Yeah, it looks like we've got a ripple of surface quakes fanning outwards. Our deepest quake here at Fiji is at 563 kilometers depth at 4.4. We also had a 5.1 at 0 kilometers and a 5.6 at 0 kilometers. This 0 was from the other 5.0 at 0 kilometers was from the other day. I swear, I thought that these were saying they were at 10 kilometers the other day. Maybe they went back and edited them. 1.7 here. We got a 3.4 and a 2.5 on the surface in northern Australia. 4.6 at 105 kilometers depth. This 5.0 in the Philippines was at 95 kilometers depth, and the 4.6 off the coast of Indonesia is 49 kilometers depth. We had a 4.4 up here at 10 kilometers depth, and that lies just on the China side of the Kyrgyzstan-China border. Keep going with this, and we see repeated earthquakes, a 5.2 and a 5.3 2 days in a row. The 5.2 was first, and the 5.3 came next, and it was a surface 5. Speaking of shallow 5s, we just had a 5.0 at 10 kilometers depth here on the mid-Atlantic, near the mid-Atlantic ridge on the Antarctic plate boundary. 4.0 in southern coastal Chile at 39 kilometers depth. We have 3.4 in Dominican Republic, and the rest of these quakes are clustered around Puerto Rico, which is pretty typical of the area. That place is very seismically active. We've also got a 1.8 in the New Madrid seismic zone. That was on the 19th at 7 kilometers depth. That is that area right in the southeast corner of Missouri, right near Little Egypt, part of Illinois. Yeah, and these are the quakes for the West and Texas. Pretty typical. Now, let's go to what we've all been waiting for. The weather. Okay, so look how sick that is. Okay, the front is spinning so hard that it is curly-cueing in on itself and creating an occluded front, which usually indicates the death of a cyclone, but not always. In this case, I think it's going to continue to spin like a top and draw a lot of moisture into this area. You see it flowing into this area near Eureka, California, We've got power outages in Humboldt County. We're looking at flash flooding, unlikely mesoscale discussion, heavy rainfall, approach of occluded cold front in Washington, Oregon, sustained moderate rainfall, classic evolution of a rapidly deepening bomb cyclone with impressive comma head baroclinic shield. Comma head baroclinic shield means that comma shape that we talk about a lot, where it looks like the shape of a crashing ocean wave. Clear slot descending branch over the southwest and southern hemispheres. Central pressures have gone from 1014 millibars to 955 millibars in 24 hours. That's what makes it a bomb cyclone. A broad subtropical jet cirrus canopy with subtle ridging at the apex of the cold front indicates an anticyclonic rotor of the nose of the 140 knot jet directed towards central Oregon coast. Clearing aloft has allowed a view of narrow convection elements along the occluded portion of the front, where steep lapse rates and cold air advection aloft support a narrow ribbon of 500 to 750 joules per kilogram surface-based cape. I'll let you read the whole thing. So we're already looking at power outages in these affected areas. About 6% of people everywhere experiencing some outages. Humboldt County, we got Douglas County, Siskiyou County. We're looking at Coos County. This is going to continue as this spins off the coast. After he own tail, it's going to continue spitting moisture up here, because we will have a spin-off, a series, a sequel of a low center come about in kind of like vortex shedding almost in the wake of this. So everyone in that area, please be prepared to lose power or withstand flooding. Say this as somebody who just went through this. You don't want to be caught off guard. So make sure you have enough water and food, that if all the food in your fridge goes bad or your water gets shut off, that you'll have it. That way you have it. Here's the rainfall making its way in the southeast tonight. We've got a special weather statement here on the Florida-Georgia line. Wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour. I think earlier they were warning for some hurricane force winds over here. Not sure what all of the warnings are. Let's actually take a look at that. I'll pull that up. Hold on. I'll pull that up before I show it. Wait, what was I just going to pull up? Nope. Forgot what it was. The low pressure system. I'm going to look at... Oh, I forgot. Okay, moving on. Let's go now to check out our stars. Actually, no, we're not at the stars yet. We're going to go to looking at our Schumann resonances. I take evening sleeping medicines, and they might be kicking in already if my brain's going mushy. At least I'll be able to eat. I make you hungry. No, it's not drugs. Would you guys listen to this show if it was just ASMR of eating popcorn? I'm sure somebody would. Okay. Pretty quiet on the Schumann resonances today. Let's take a look at our space weather. Strength of the interplanetary magnetic field is moderate, and the direction is slightly south. That's good conditions for aurora. 43 to 48, we had 6 coronal mass ejections today. This one looks long, 10-second duration. Whoa, that looks cool. That's really pretty. Looks like a flower petals is all I can think of every time. Let's see. That's beautiful. I want to watch this on the coronagraph. See if we had any good solar flares today. No even M-class flares today. Let's look at 193. Oh, hey. Oh my God. Kaylee, I was literally just talking about the bomb cyclone. How is it? You just drove through 70-mile-per-hour winds, had to move 2 big-ass trees. Holy shit. So I've been thinking of you last night and tonight. I was hoping that you'd get onto the broadcast, but I was like, she might be like in the middle of the storm. What is it like out there? Tell us everything. I was literally just talking about it. It's insane down here. Do you have water and food? Do you have shelter? Are you good? Do you have a satellite phone? Have you tried, if you have an iPhone, have you tried to call somebody with emergency contact and use satellite to set it up beforehand? Because apparently you can do that. You can use an iPhone as a satellite phone if you've made somebody your emergency contact and already called them using satellite before the stuff goes down. Okay. Winds are unreal. The ocean is roaring. We have water, food. Fire marshal is my neighbor. We're all on standby to help. Amazing. That is so important, and it's probably going to be very needed. So get ready. It's your turn. Climate catastrophe is here for everyone, and it's your turn now. I really hope that you're okay. I am praying for you and your community. Yeah, damn, I'm glad you're here. I was just talking about how bomb cyclones comes from the term bombogenesis. And this is the sun. This is what we're looking at here. Look at this spinny boy. Look at that circly spinny boy. That's a gnarly one. This is a gnarly storm. It's spraying like a fire hose that gets turned up. It's like if a fire hose magically created more water when it was spraying you. That's what it's like when an atmospheric river hits the mountains. It just all of a sudden is more water because of orographic lift. My dog won't poop. LOL. Love you so much. I live in Petrolia. If you want to look it up on the map, we're right on the edge of the world. Okay, where is Petrolia? Sounds like it was named after oil. Okay. Can I look this up on Google Earth? Using Bing to look up Google Earth. Come on now. Oh man, you're right on the coast here. Near Lost Coast Camp, whatever that is. Let's see. Is this... What layers do I have on? Near the cemetery. Are you on a slope by any chance? Are you at the bottom of a hill? Or somewhere where there may be overly developed land north of you? Anywhere where you see these barren areas rather than the trees, that's where you're going to be a little bit in danger. You are like right where it's headed for, though. This is like smack dab directly in the middle of where you're looking at this happening. We're getting nailed. Yeah, I bet you're getting nailed in Petrolia, California. This looks like the worst spot to be. I'm sorry, that sucks. Damn. What can I say? What can I say other than fuck? I'm surprised you still have power. I'm glad you still have power. It's going to continue. This thing is, the warm front is just about to move onshore. Let me show you. This part is just about to move onshore. You're over here. You're going to... Humboldt County is at 5.3% of customers out of power right now. As this moves onshore, it's not showing it very well on radar because radar only shows like where the actual clouds are. They're not showing just any water vapor that is got a signature on it. This is showing like water vapor that looks big enough to be clouds now. So everything that's reaching, it's not like the clouds are coming out of nowhere right at this line. That's the line that's the threshold of where clouds start becoming large enough aggregates of water vapor molecules to be actually liquid drops instead of just vapor. So this is going to just continue spitting clouds out for a day or two. Let me go back here. You're right at the bottom of some hills. Oh my God. Make sure that you have... Do you have like a ladder or a second story or something? They targeted me, LOL. Yeah, the first they came for me and now they're coming for you. Beautiful place, but yeah, we're getting it now, LOL. We all mostly have generators, luckily, if we lose power. And you have 7 gallons of gas. All right, I won't tell people any more about where you are because don't want them to come take your gas. But I'm glad that you have everything under control. Do you like my makeup tonight, by the way? I made a bisexual flag eyeliner. Okay, let's continue on with the show. I'm going to go back to our space weather. Oh, actually, I'm just going to go to our planets. We officially have Pluto in Aquarius. Yay! I already feel better. And we're already getting fun disclosure type stories. We've got Venus in Capricorn. That is sextile to Saturn in Pisces. Saturn rules Capricorn, and Venus has a good time in Pisces. So those are probably playing well with each other. Jupiter in retrograde is in Gemini, is opposite Mercury in Sagittarius. That's about to station retrograde. So as we talked about yesterday, they're probably not very happy with each other. Mercury is trying to Chiron in Aries, and that is opposite Black Moon Lilith in Libra. We've got Leo Mars at 4 degrees of Leo, and the moon at 25 degrees of Cancer is trine the sun in Scorpio at 28 degrees, and also trine to Neptune and Pisces at 27 degrees. So Neptune, the moon, and the sun are all working together in the 3 water signs. This is a very psychically active time, a very emotional time to process your feelings, do some healing, take advantage of this. This is almost a mystic, like a Star of David, where you have grand sextiles all around the zodiac wheel. Almost. We're missing like one thing at the end of Virgo to make it really official. Yeah, today is a Mars day. It's a Venus hour. Last hour was a Sun hour. Oh, thank you. I am so happy when you're here at this live because I love having you here. I put up new cloth backgrounds, and I also busted out my have this glowing. Can't see it very well when the light's on it, but back here you can see I've got this like orb, this glowing moon LED. Turn the front light down so you can see it. You can kind of see a little better. You can almost see it. I love it. It's making me very happy to have my little moon and salt lamp back there. Go back to camera only. I think it's really pretty. Let's get some card readings done, shall we? Oh, that's when you can see it. You can see the color it is when I do smoke. That looks cool. Okay. Make the glowing orb stop the winds. Please protect Kaylee. Please protect my only viewer, my beloved Kaylee, out there in Petrolia. All right. Let's get a little reading from the liminal space deck. This is on the bottom, the cloud. I've never pulled that one up, but I like it. All right. What is a reading? What's a good card for the vibes of today? What's going on in the etheric world, in the universe beyond that which we sense with our current scientific process? Rainbow. Isn't that sweet? The bottom of the deck was the cloud, and this is rainbow. Jesus is with us for sure. Yes, absolutely. Let's see what rainbow says, because that seems really cute. I was going to read it even if it wasn't cute, but rainbow says a sign that the stars are gazing back. A sign that the stars are gazing back. So that's beautiful. I think that's a great sign. Let's see. Next, we're going to pull something from my affirmations deck. That's the one that I use this selenite with. I love the sound of that selenite. Okay. What do you have in store for us, Affirmations deck? It's the nickname I gave this deck. I don't know what it's actually called, but I love it. It's got beautiful little artwork and happy, encouraging sayings about manifestation and being in higher vibration and stuff. The good vibe deck. What goes with rainbow for today? I'm not here to fix anything. I'm here for fun. Has robin's eggs on it. And it says, you're not here to fix anything because nothing is broken, but everything is continually changing and expanding. Release your struggle and seek joy and fun. And in doing so, you will align with the fantastic expanding rhythm of this universe. So, don't worry. You are here to have fun, so enjoy yourself. Okay, finally, we're going to get something from our holographic tarot deck. Oh, holographic tarot deck. What goes with this robin's egg card and the rainbow? Both such beautiful images. What can we glean from the energy of today? Ooh, that was quick. The Hanged Man in reverse. Hanged Man in reverse. So the Hanged Man is a card of intentionally putting yourself in a restrained position, putting yourself in an intentional respite from the world, so that you are in control of your inability to do anything else right now. This is always, the card always reminds me of Agent Dale Cooper in Twin Peaks, being on his bar that he hangs from his ankles on. And in reverse, maybe you didn't, today this is striking me as maybe you didn't put yourself in a position to take a time out and enjoy things, but you still have the opportunity to make a reprieve from the real world into an opportunity to meditate and reflect on what you're thinking. Perhaps the world seems more logical when it's upside down. Maybe when everything's topsy-turvy, you find some peace. I know I felt that way during our storm. So I would like to encourage you to find some peace in the Hanged Man. Find some peace in your restraints, in your being held back or held down or held in some sort of state of chaos. I believe in you. I believe you can do it. If anyone can, you can. All right. I think that's all I got for tonight. But I love you so much. Honestly, it's a very surrendering feeling. Yes, just surrender to the process. You got this. I gotta go because I gotta pee. But I love you so much. I'll be praying for you. I know you can get through this storm, and you're gonna help everybody else get through it too. This is better than the earthquake a few weeks ago. Those were terrifying. I'm sorry I didn't broadcast while you were experiencing earthquakes. I was dealing with the flood. So, yeah. All right, I got to go. I love you very much. Have a great night. Bye.